Hey, what's happening, you guys? This is the Icon Blueprint, and we're live here on Facebook. This also goes to the podcast, so there's a podcast with it, and there's also the YouTube page. So you can watch it, you can listen to it, you can be part of it live. Many different avenues to be part of the show. Last week, I had an amazing show. We had Coach Emily on, and she is just fire. She laid down so much knowledge. I was learning the entire time. I had other people reach out to me later, women who had gone through pregnancy and they learned stuff, women who were currently pregnant and they learned a bunch too as well. So if you didn't listen to that episode, head on back, episode 5. You'll see a picture. Well, you might see the picture, depends on where you go, of Coach Emily just looking like a superstar. That's the one. Click on it. It's about an hour long, but it is well worth it. There's also a ton of good show notes that were included both in the Facebook, the podcast, and YouTube for you to be able to click on and be able to get additional information. So if you missed out on episode 5 with Coach Emily, gotta go get it. I am excited. I got a couple other super influential people that are going to be coming onto the show. One is should I say amazing or terrifying? If you know what I'm talking about, Bobby Baum is a licensed massage therapist here in town. He is the best of the best. And the reason that I say that he is both amazing and terrifying is that dude is not afraid to dig deep into your soul. You didn't know that your soul actually lied somewhere in between the strands of your muscles until Bobby's hands are that deep. But the amazing thing is that you get up and out and you're like, oh my God, he fixed me. So he's coming up on the show. That is going to be early November. I also have Kim Munez, who is an amazing woman, a entrepreneur herself, and an incredible athlete as well. And she's going to be coming onto the show, so I'm really excited to be able to get her on, and a bunch others that I'm getting lined up as well. So that's just a little prelude of what we have to come. But right now and today, what we're going to be talking about, check this out. I wonder if this will change. It is not, let's see if I can do this. Boom. Sorry guys, for the people who are listening on the podcast, I did not change my episode. Notes. So it was talking about, boom, there we go. It was talking, or it said on there that I had Emily on again, which I don't. Just me. It's just me today. All right, well, let's dive into this. What we got today, we're going to talk a little bit about goal setting, why it doesn't work. A lot of us set goals, and that it's super important. It's really, really important that we set goals. The problem is that it's not something that we're really taught to do. You know, growing up, we aren't taught in high school or through the education system, hey, it's really important to understand the goals that we set and then to be held accountable to those goals and reach them. What are the tools that we should use? How are we going to get there? And due to the fact that we aren't really taught how to set goals, or we are given really like vague direction when it comes to setting goals. Like, well, you got to say what you want, and then you set a deadline, and make sure you're really specific, and then that'll get you there. And some people don't even do that. The problem with that is it's not, if we don't know why we're setting the goal, then we're missing the point. A lot of the times people are setting goals because they feel like it's the thing that they need to do. Well, I mean, if I don't have a goal, then I'm not being, I'm not reaching my true potential, or, I'm not going to actually lose that weight or get that job or find that relationship or make that money. I got to set a goal. I just got to set a goal. But here's the issue. As you guys know, or maybe you don't know, we have our conscious and we have our subconscious. All right, we're going to get real spiritual here. So in our conscious is the one that tells us, hey, don't step out when you see a car coming. It's rainy outside, grab an umbrella, right? It's the thing that goes, well, let's talk about this. Let's make some logical sense. And that is all good and great. We got to have that, right? If not, we're stepping out in front of a car and getting smashed, or walking around the streets with no umbrella, soaking wet. So it's really important to have that conscious, but that conscious is really driven into us, not only in society, but also in our education system. Does it make sense? Reach the grades. Why are you going to college? Why, make sure you get the good job, and, make sure you get the good house, and make sure that, your 401k plan, it's diversified. Not saying that those are all bad things. I don't want anybody to, out there going like, oh man, that's bad stuff. It's good stuff. But when it comes to setting goals, I'm pretty sure most people don't get jacked up about saving up for their 401k. I'm pretty sure they're not laying down at night and they just can't stop thinking about diversifying their 401k. Man, I just can't wait, man. Should I do overseas bonds, or should I diversify and stay, within the United States and keep that market? No, nobody's doing that. I guess I shouldn't say nobody. There's people out there, shout out to my boy Jared Dean. That dude moves bonds like nobody's business. But what ends up happening there is we start losing touch of our subconscious. So our subconscious is the thing that keeps us up late at night out of excitement, or maybe even out of fear. But that subconscious, where we usually see it the most, where it actually kind of like spark joy, is when we watch kids and how excited kids get and how imaginative children are. And when it's Christmas Day, they know that they heard the reindeer. Like, they heard Santa Claus. They know he's there. And that is their subconscious. And the joy that you see on a child's face on Christmas Day, or on their birthday, or on Easter, when they're allowed to be free and imagine anything and everything, it's something so pure and so enjoyable that we go, man, I wish I had that much joy. I wish I had the joy of a child. And you may have heard this saying before, right? Have a child's mind. And that's because a child is very in touch with their subconscious, and they're still learning. They're still learning their conscious. They're still learning up here. Hey, don't touch the stove's hot, right? And so they're working that. But we tend to start pulling kids farther and farther and farther away from their subconscious, and we just push them into conscious. Just do the right thing, wear your helmet, do this, do that, do that, do that. And what ends up happening? We become adults, and we start worrying about our 401ks, and we start, worried about the house that we're going to get and everything else. Again, good things to think about, right? But we can be too extreme on one side or the other. So what's the reason? Why am I bringing this up? Because I'm going to give you a way to find the goals that you actually want to have. Okay? And we're going to do it in this way. And I'm going to give it to you right now. Now, if you are going to be listening, right? If you're live, we're not going to be able to pause and get all the way through this, but you can come back to it. If you're listening to this on the podcast or the YouTube, you can pause this of how we're going to kind of walk through and be able to get to the point of actually just at least finding your goals by touching into your subconscious. Okay? So this is how it's going to work. I want you to pull out a piece of paper and a pen. All right? If you're listening live right now, feel free. Pull out a piece of paper and a pen. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get in touch with our subconscious. And for adults, the best way to do this is like, and we used to do this at, and they probably still do, right, at Double Edge. But I would do it at Double Edge, and I would say, hey, if I gave you $1 million and you had to spend it in 24 hours, what would you do? Instantly, subconsciouses start getting lit up. Because we know, our conscious knows what $1 million is, what can it spend. But our subconscious is saying like, well, yeah, I'm not going to go spend it on my, pots and pans. No, there's going to be something that incites me or sparks interest. Maybe take all my friends onto a plane and fly out to Fiji. Maybe, take the $1 million and build water wells all throughout Africa. Maybe feed 1 million people with the $1 million. So something like that. And that gives us the subconscious room to breathe and think. And so that's what we're going to do right now. So you have your pen and you have your paper. Now, what I want you to do is you're going to set a timer for 6 minutes, right? You can even do 5 minutes if you want, but it's usually 6 minutes. And what I want you to think about is I want you to brainstorm a list of anything you would like to achieve, create, do, have, give away, experience in the next 20 years. This could mean this year. It could mean 20 years from now. But what we're going to do is we're going to allow our subconscious to be able to open up. And it's really important through this drill that you allow that subconscious to go. That you are a kid on Christmas Day and anything is possible. You just got the black card for life. That any opportunity is available to you. And you have all the resources and the money to you right now. What would you do? Don't allow your conscious to stop you from going like, oh, well, that's just impossible. No. If you want to go and hang out with The Rock on the beach and play volleyball, do it. Put it down. If you want to go and swim with great killer whales, do it. Put it in there. If you have always dreamed of being able to have an orphanage, put it in there. To have a castle on the side of a mountain, put it in there. The point of this drill is not at any point for the conscious to come in and say, well, that's not going to happen. This is what limits us. This is why people get a governor on their life, is because they put it on there. Because they allowed their conscious to constantly come in and not allow their subconscious to bring out what they truly want in life. So that is what I want you to do. For the next 6 minutes, you set a timer, and for the next 6 minutes, you are just going to go like crazy. Anything goes. Own a McDonald's. Run across the United States. Have 2 more kids. Whatever. Go to the Emmys. Right? Whatever it is, put it down. So if you are listening on the podcast right now or on YouTube, I want you to go ahead and pause. Christina's throwing something out. Yes, Christina's talking about she's the queen of talking herself out of stuff. And that's true. Christina, you're not alone. You're not alone. This is a lot of people, right? Doubts, fears creep in, and that's our conscious saying we can't. What we have to do is allow ourselves to actually believe. And so the next step, because this is a perfect example, Christina, thanks for putting that in there. The next step is that doubt that does come in. So how do we figure it out? So now at this point, if you had paused and you brought it back on, and if you haven't, pause it right now, go do the 6 minutes. Okay, that was my pause for the people. Now, if you're back, what I want you to do is I want you to look at that list. Could be 3, it could be 15, it could be 20, it could be 50, right? If you found that those 6 minutes or 5 minutes was very short, was very teeny, it seemed like it just flew by, that's basically saying your subconscious hasn't been able to breathe in a long time. If it was really difficult for you, like you were only able to put like 3 things, that means your conscious is absolutely in control of your life. And that you probably have a ton of different doubts about yourself, about what you're capable of doing. You maybe have been told throughout your life, you can't do that. You're not smart enough. You're not fast enough, fit enough, pretty enough, so on and so forth. That is something to address as well. So whichever way that it went, right, it is something to be able to kind of look at, all right? Now what I want you to do is you're going to look at that list and real quick, I mean a minute, max 2 minutes, you're going to go through that list and you're going to put a 1, a 3, a 5, a 10, or a 20. What that represents is the year or years that it's going to take you to reach that goal. Okay? If it was owning a castle in the mountains and you currently make $50,000 a year, that's probably going to be tough. Not impossible, but probably pretty tough. Okay? So maybe that's a 5, 10, or 20. And if that's something that really sets you on fire, oh man, I just always wanted a castle up in the mountains. That's where goals come in. Well, how do we make it to that mountain? So that's what I want you to do right now. So I'm going to do the pause thing. And for the people that are watching live, right, it's just going to be weird, right? But for the next 2 minutes, I want you to go through 1, 3, 5, 10, or 20. Ready, go. Okay. If you paused and you are back, now we're starting to build something here. Now what we have is we have some things that are on there that are really fire. Stuff that just kind of moves you. And now you can kind of see, man, there's a few things on here that I think I can do in the next year. And those are the ones that we want to focus on. So this is what I want you to do. Dependent on whether you had a lot of them, right? Maybe you had 5 different year 1. What I want you to do is I want you to cut that now in half, okay? So I want you to do that right now, and it should take you less than 30 seconds. I want you to cut it right now in half. Cut it in half. Good. Now you have half of what you had before of your 1 year goals. Now from there, I want you to pick one. So I want you to go ahead and I want you to pick one. You have to, real quick, what's the one that just pulls on your heart? What's the one that just fires you up? You just get immediately pulled to. I want you to circle that one. Now, what we have here is we have your true goal. This isn't a goal, right? Because I can guarantee, for the most part, your subconscious wasn't, oh, I want to, again, go back to make a ton of money, lose some weight. Your subconscious doesn't tell you that. Your subconscious might say, I want to be so wealthy that I can buy a house with cash for somebody completely random. Man, that feels really good, right? Or I want to look so good at Christmas that my family's going to go, wow, I want that feeling, right? There's a big difference between I want money, I want to lose weight, and that subconscious feeling. And those are probably what you have on there. And if not, it's probably still in there. If you did say, hey, I want to lose some weight, why do you want to lose weight? What does it mean? What's the fire? Because losing 15 pounds isn't going to get you going. It can keep you up late at night. So now what you do, now that you have that fire, right? That subconscious goal. Yes. Now what I want you to do is I want you to write a paragraph or more. I wouldn't do anything longer than a page. A paragraph or more of what that goal means to you. Why does it excite you? What makes it tick? And I want you to think into the future. How would that feel? What would that day look like if you did buy that house? Who's the family that's walking into that house? What's the look on their face? Are they crying? Are they so ecstatic? Are they falling to their knees? Are they thanking God? Or maybe it's losing the weight and looking into the mirror and having your friends or your family go, oh my God, you're just radiating. You're beautiful. Who's saying that? Where's it at? What's the moment? What do you see? What do you taste? What do you touch? What do you feel? Get into the senses. Write that down. Why does it mean so much to you? And what does that day look like to you? When you finish that, and you can pause right now if you want to go into it right now. When you finish that, you know what you've just created? You've created your vision. That is hugely different than setting a goal. A vision is something you believe in. A vision is something that matches up with your core values of the person that you are and who you want to be. So what is it? And what doubts immediately come up? Where does the conscious come in and start saying, oh, no, you can't. No, you're not. You can't lose that weight. You're not smart enough. You can't go back to school. You never. Who would pay you that much money so you can get a castle on a mountain? Crush that conscious. Now with that paragraph, that is something I want you to utilize every day. To be able to say that paragraph every day. You wake up, you make it part of your ritual. And if you have to refine it, change it, motivate you a little bit more, do it. And I want you to say it out loud. Might get a little weird, but I want you to say it out loud every single day. This is your vision. Now that we have a vision, say it's this vision of being able to look amazing in a bathing suit again, right? You're seeing yourself on the beach with your friends and family, and that's where you want to be. This is where we set goals. And so what I want you to do now you have your vision, which is your goal. You're trying to get to this point. I want you to break that down into 3 process goals. These are 3 larger goals that are going to take some effort to be able to accomplish, but just like the rungs on a ladder, they're steps towards that vision. So I want you to go, hey, what are the 3 things I would have to do right off the top of the gate? What would I have to do? What if I need to lose weight? What would I have to do? You know what? I might have to hire a nutritionist. I might have to find a exercise program and commit to 5 days a week, 4 days a week. Maybe start off with 2, build up to 5. Figure out those process goals and make sure that those process goals push you. Then, this is a very key component. Key component. Take action now. Right now. You now have this vision. You've allowed your subconscious to breathe. You've allowed your conscious now to connect to your subconscious of being able to go, hey, here are these 3 process goals. This is what I'm going to have to do. Okay? Then you're going to take action right now. Like, if you're listening to this, I want you, when this ends, to immediately take action. Because I can tell you, movement beats motivation every time. Action beats anxiety every time. You want to change the direction or the destiny of your life, you got to change the direction. Right? You ever had a flashlight in your hand and you're really close to the wall and you just kind of point it just to the left, right? Maybe just like a quarter inch or something. And it's so close to the wall, it just moves a little quarter inch, maybe half inch or an inch. But what happens if you take that flashlight and you shine it across the street, if it's bright enough, and now you move it a half inch? How far does that change the destination of that light? Completely alters it. So one little change right now can completely change the destination or your destiny. But you have to take action right now. So within the next 24 hours, I want you to do something. It can be something as simple as, I'm going to research coaches in my area. I'm going to talk to somebody about my finances right now. I'm going to get out of debt before the end of the year. I'm going down and talking to a financial advisor right now. I guarantee that if you take that step right now, you will find yourself going towards a completely different destination only because you just altered that just a slightly bit. You just changed the direction just a little bit, but the destination, when we're talking distance and far down the road, is a completely different location than if you did nothing. After you've taken that massive step, it's not the end. In the next 3 days, I want you to take another step. In the next 7 days, take another step. In the next 21 days, take another step. And then in the next 30 days, take another step. At that point, you should be close or working on one of your process goals. But this gives you the motivation to get going. And you can write them down. If you know in your heart right now, I know exactly what I need to take action. It's going down to that financial advisor. It is calling that fitness coach. It's signing up for that gym. It's getting online and putting in my information to get back to school. Do that right then. Then when you finish that one, write your next one. Write the 7 days or 3 day later. Then write the 7 days. After you finish the third day, then say, okay, in 7 days, this is what I'm going to take care of. In 20 days, this is what I'm going to take care of. In 30 days. Now we're to our process goals. So that's a little bit different, right, than just saying, I want to lose 15 pounds. We first have to recognize the vision, because that's what's going to drive us when things get hard. That's what's going to keep us motivated. And if you don't have that piece of paper with that paragraph to be able to speak out loud, just like any other skill, it will fade away. If you are an expert in your field and you stop today, you will start getting dull. It will not work. So think of that and use that as your leverage. So, boom, goal setting. So good. Christina, thank you so much for putting your 2 cents in. I really look forward to hearing what your vision is and what your action that you're going to take. If you guys need to, rewind this, listen to it again. If you get to your next process goal and you're kind of losing some momentum, write it down again. Go through this same step again and find what fires you up. If you don't have that deep in your belly feeling, it will fade. It will fade. So utilize that. Utilize that the best that you can. If you guys have questions, feel free. You can reach out to me, Joel at iconfitness.com. You can go to my website, www.iconfitness.com as well. If you are truly interested in completely transforming your life, having a healthier body and a happier life, you can join me as we will work together one-on-one in my 12-week Icon program. Through the 12 weeks, we will meet up every single week, and we will work on things from not only goal setting, vision setting, but also different health techniques that are going to help you to reduce your stress, to get more rest and peace at night, and to be able to drop that stubborn belly fat that has been aching you and holding on for such a long time. And then at the end of it, you get the opportunity to be able to live a life that you've always wanted. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right, you guys, I am once again so humbled that anybody would take their time to be able to listen to me. It's been a pleasure being able to have you during this time. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If not, I will see you next time, next Thursday, 12:30 p.m., where we'll be talking about something real, real good. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Have a killer day. I will talk to you soon.